And what I tend to see the most is you'll have one person who's a little bit more of a spender and likes to enjoy the money they're earning. The other person's a little bit more of the saver and wants to be a little bit more conservative. And so they'll inevitably kind of like butt heads there.
Hi, this is Peter Kowalke, and today I'm talking with Jeremi McManus. First of all, thank you for joining us, Jeremy. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
of
it.
course. Great to be here with you, Peter. Thank you.
So let's talk about money and
Okay, let's
relationships.
do it.
What are the big challenges that usually happen around money, and how
Yeah.
can couples resolve those issues?
It's a good question. I don't think there's a simple answer to it. I think the big challenge that couples bump into is often their value system from their own, let's say, childhood or growing up or being single, being a bachelor, they'll be different than what their partners are. And what I tend to see the most is you'll have one person who's a little bit more of a spender and likes to enjoy the money they're earning. The other person's a little bit more of the saver and wants to be a little bit more conservative. And so they'll inevitably kind of like butt heads there. What I tend to, work with couples around is what are some different ways that maybe you could kind of see what your partner needs and join him or her in their priorities. And then that often creates a space when one partner says, hey, I want to, create a little extra space for saving if their partner's a saver, or I want to create a little more space for some, spending. And then the other partner says, wow, this person's really seeking to meet my needs and join me in what I need. So, it makes me want to do more for him or do more for her. And that tends to be a great inroad for this really tough conversation.
So basically, the first step with any money conversation is to get on their team, so to speak.
That's it. Yeah. How can I empathize with you? How can I understand you and where you're coming from?
Mhm. Well, a lot of times it's not just different styles, but maybe a couple might be coming from different socioeconomic backgrounds.
Inevitably, yeah.
So in those cases, how do you really bridge that gap? Because it's a kind of a fundamental thing that people have grown up with. This is the way I spend. This is the way we
Oh, yeah.
spend.
Socioeconomics are really tough. I mean, statistically, people from different socioeconomic groups or classes tend to have the most challenge over any other difference culturally, like including things like gender and ethnicity, et cetera. So I think that's why it's such a loaded topic. And really where it begins is I want to try to see you and understand you from where you're coming from. And so that theme that you're kind of hearing of like empathy, which is really what I work on cultivating with my couples is, can I create some space for you to hear him or hear her and where they're coming from? And what I often find is over time, as one partner listens and really deeply understands what their partner's needs and priorities are, they'll more and more start to say, I can understand where they're coming from, and I want to do more to join them there or be there alongside them in their priorities.
Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me,
Oh, it's my
Jeremy.
pleasure.
I really appreciate it. I know you're very busy with your practice. For those who are interested in learning more about Jeremy and his practice, and maybe even becoming a client of his, they can go to sfrelationshipcoaching.com. That's Jeremy's site where you can find out more about his practice. So thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me, Jeremy. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, Peter. Great talking to you.